Hello, dreamers, and welcome back to Into the Dreamscape. I'm your host, William Copper. Before we get into tonight's episode, do you like to travel but often forget to bring bags? This episode's sponsor, Terrain, creates bold, eco friendly bags from upcycled feed bags and recycled plastic bottles. These durable and stylish products are perfect for travel and outdoor adventures. Enjoy an exclusive 15% discount with my promo code IDS at checkout. Find them at torrain.org. And now, on to episode 5, brought to you by fellow dreamer Marty. Don't leave me. I stretched in the bed. The cat was curled up in my left arm as I drifted off into sleep, tucked in close to my side. With my back flush against the mattress, I felt safe, even with being alone in the house. It wasn't the first night I was left there, but I always felt a little uneasy being there alone. What with being sandwiched between two cemeteries, who wouldn't be a little creeped out occasionally? Luckily for me, my dreams were voids, nothing but swirling, calm blackness until early in the morning. I woke about 7, and being the late sleeper I am, I closed my eyes and returned to sleep. It was one of the worst mistakes I can recount. Sometime during the night, I ended up on my side, a common occurrence with me, and I cuddled with my pillow as a dream drifted onto the horizon. Fully immersed, I opened my eyes in the dream. It was calm, but eerily vivid. I felt like I belonged where I was standing. I was on a hill overlooking a gray white farmhouse. It was old, worn in, but it was serene, something I might have seen in an old history book or magazine. Halfway between was a large red barn, a large white frame around the door, filled with bales of crisp, dried hay. I could hear the faint neighing of horses, and the subtle smell of drying hay wafted on the breeze from behind the barn. A well was across from that, old mossy gray rocks with a small wooden peak to ward off unwanted debris. I could hear a river running beside me, though the trees blocked a good view of it. The hill I stood on had a garden, rocks circling the edge, and red and white flowers spotted the hillside. I stood there for a long time. I could see others moving around, and echoes of voices drifted towards me, but I couldn't find my ability to walk. I could feel myself getting cold as well. Finally, my body, as if hearing my plea, began to move, slowly walking towards the farmhouse. Before I knew it, I was by the wall, and again I had stopped. The people had disappeared. Their cheerful voices also vanished. The horses were gone. The river was silent. I tried to go back, fearing something had gone wrong in this serene place. However, my feet continued forward. A voice drifted in the wind, soft, pleading, "Don't leave me." I wanted to turn my head to look around for the voice, but my vision stayed straight, bringing me closer and closer to the house. I couldn't take it anymore. I thrashed in my sleep, throwing the scene from my mind and trying to return to the waking world. My shoulder, previously in the air, was forcefully pinned as I tried to open my eyes. I could feel my body jerking, my head snapping from side to side, but to no avail. My eyes felt as they were sewn shut. I thrashed my head side to side until I smacked my head off the bedside table, shocking me enough to open my eyes for a moment. I wish I hadn't. Standing beside my closet door on the other side of my room was a girl, somewhere between the ages of 11 and 12. She was wearing a light blue dress that went down just a little bit below her knees, white knee-high stockings, and black Mary Jane shoes, both of which were free of dirt. Her hair was long and brown, wavy all the way down her back, her bangs were held out of her eyes by a small blue ribbon. She had a heart-shaped face, pale skin, and rose-pink lips. Her appearance wasn't what had me struggling harder, nor was the fact that she was mysteriously in my bedroom. Her eyes. She stared at me, black gaping holes where her eyes should have been. For the brief moments I had my eyes open, I could tell the dream was no longer just a figment of my imagination. My eyes shut, the feeling of dread filling me as I fought again to get out of the dream. This time, I was running away from the house. The river was roaring in my ears, but nothing could swallow the sound of those heavy boots that raced after me. I could hear them, pounding the earth behind me as I sped toward the hill, nearly tripping as I leapt over a gray stone. My eyes opened, my heart was racing, and my eyes met hers again. I was gasping for air. I was being suffocated. She was closer. The black of her eyes was spreading down her face, weaving into a poisoned web across her pale skin. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. The woods were getting thicker, and I could feel the harsh bark scraping against my flesh as I rushed toward the river. If I could just make it across, I knew I would be safe. The snapping of the twigs and scattering birds only alerted me to how close he was. I could feel it as he swung. A sharp sting ran down my back. Startled, I tried again, my eyes opening wide in fear. She was standing at the foot of my bed. The black darkness from her eyes spread over her skin like veins. Her gaze was curious as I struggled before her. Her lips parted slightly in wonder. I could feel the whimper leave my throat before slipping back into the vision. I tripped, reaching for a tree to climb back to my feet, when something heavy and sharp collided in my back. I fell forward, unable to process what had happened. I couldn't move. The object was removed, and I could hear his haggard breath as he stood over me. It was a strange feeling. The chill that slowly spread through my body, the warmth that pooled on my back and my sides. Cold hands wrapped around my shoulders, firmly pinning me to the ground. The man was disappearing, along with my vision. With a final flash of silver, my eyes flew open. Pinning me down was the girl, the black pits of her eyes boring down into my own. Her hands were freezing, and she gripped my shoulders tightly. Her mouth slowly opened, and she leaned in closer. I could feel her breath in my skin. It was like icy needles pricking my face and neck. The smell of decay made me cringe. I stared in terror as her raspy voice called, "Don't leave me." And that was called Don't Leave Me. Was this a story? Was this a dream? That's up to you to decide, dreamer. If you would like to submit your story, please email intothedreamscape88@gmail.com. Thank you all for listening to this podcast. I hope you have a wonderful evening.